Hello everyone. In this session, let me explain one more important theorem. It has been asked in the year 2017 and 19. The collection mu of all measurable sets in R is sigma algebra. In the previous session, you have learnt one of the theorem where we have proved that mu is a measurable set in R is an algebra, but here it is sigma algebra. Only one term makes a lot of difference. So while writing the proof, we just take care of the statements. So we are going to prove a collection mu is a sigma algebra. Fine. We have already proved that is I can write, we know that mu is algebra in set R. We have already proved this. Fine. Now we have to prove that mu is sigma algebra. So as per the definition of sigma algebra, it is enough to prove that mu is countable. I can say mu is closed under countable union. So it is enough to prove a collection mu is closed under countable union. Now let me take a set E I such that I is equal to 1 to infinity be any countable collection of set. Any countable collection of sets. Fine. Sets in mu. Now let me take E as union of all ENs. Why? Because we have already proved that. I think it is mostly second or third theorem, that what it states, every countable union can be expressed as countable disjoint. Every countable union can be expressed as countable disjoint sets. So I have proved in the second or third theorem. Hope so. So as per that theorem, I can write E as countable union of all the disjoint sets En. Now let me define one set, say Fn, such that Fn is equal to I is equal to 1 to n Ei for each n. Meaning is that I can express any set E as countable union of disjoint sets. This is as per the theorem statement. Fine. Now let me define one of the sets, say Fn, given by union of I is equal to 1 to n Ei for each n. Now we have already proved that mu is algebra, right? So as per the definition of an algebra, the element will be, suppose if it is an algebra, this will be in the collection mu, where mu is collection of all measurable sets. Fine. Mu is collection of all measurable set. We have already proved that mu is an algebra, so this collection will be in the set mu. Fine. Now since Fn belongs to mu, meaning is that mu is measurable. If this element belongs to mu, I can say this is also measurable. I am repeating once again. What I have done is, I have chosen one set, say Fn, as union of all the sets Eis for each n. Since I have already proved that mu is an algebra, meaning is that this set or this element belongs to the collection of measurable set mu. As this element belongs to mu, which is measurable, I can say Fn is also measurable. Now I can apply definition of measurability of a set. So if this is a measurable set, then as per the definition of measurable set, there exists one subset in a real number, that is A in R, such that m star of A will be equal to m star of A intersection Fn plus its complement, that is m star of A intersection Fn complement. This is as per the definition of measurability of a finite set. Now let me take this as equation 1. Fine. Now for each n, I can write, see here, Fn is equal to union of I is equal to 1 to n En. Further, this Ei can be written as E. In the sense, from these two relations, that is from this and this relation, I can say Fn is contained in E. Fn is contained in E. Why? Because Fn is I have taken as union of all the Ei's. So in at least one of the Ei, this element will be there. So Fn is contained in this E. Now this implies I can write Fn complement. Let me apply complementation. Fn complement, this will become reverse, will be contained in its complement Ei. Fine. Now let me take intersection with A on both side. So A intersection on both side. Now let me apply measure on both side. That is M star of A intersection Fn complement contain. When I apply measure, this symbol will become greater than or equal to. Unless I can say proper subset. So greater than or equal to M star of A intersection E complement. Fine. Now let me take this as equation 2. From equation, or else I can say from substituting 2 in 1. Substituting equation 2 in 1. See here, this set can be replaced by M star of A intersection Ei complement. Moreover, I have to write greater than or equal to here. So that can be written as equation 1 becomes M star of A is greater than or equal to first term as it is M star of A intersection Fn. Second term, I am replacing the second term with equation 2 plus M star of A intersection E complement. Clear? Now let me take this as say equation 3. Fine. So what I did is I have just substituted equation 2 in equation 1. Fine. So I have substituted the same. So I have obtained the equation 3. Now let me consider A intersection Fn. So I can write this as A intersection Fn can be written as union of all Ei's. So let me replace I is equal to 1 to n union of all Ei's. Now let me apply measure on both sides. So when you apply measure on both sides, you will get M star of A intersection Fn is equal to M star of A intersection union I is equal to 1 to n Ei. Fine. Or else I can write, when you're going to take measure inside, as per the theorem, union will become summation. So let me apply the theorem. So I can write I is equal to 1 to n. I'm going to take measure inside. So M star of A intersection Ei. Just I have taken measure inside, union will become summation. So I can write M star of A intersection Fn as this term. So let me replace this in equation 3. So equation 3 becomes M star of A is greater than or equal to, this can be written as summation I is equal to 1 to n M star of A intersection Ei plus M star of A intersection E complement. Clear? Let me take this as equation 4. Fine. Now we can observe that M star of A intersection E can be written as M star of A intersection E can be written as union of all Ei's. So let me do that. N is equal to 1 to infinity all Ei's. Or else I can rewrite this as M star of union, I'm taking this inside, then I can write like this, right? I have just manipulated this equation to write something like this. Fine. From this I can clearly write, now let me apply measure on both sides for this equation. In the sense I have already done that, so I can rewrite this as M star of A intersection E. I'm using the theorem now. I have proved this in a previous session, you just go through that. So when you're going to take measure inside, whatever I have done in this step, I'm going to repeat the same. I'm taking a measure inside, so union will become summation. Equals will become less than or equal to summation I is equal to 1 to infinity, take measure inside M star A intersection Ei. Or else I can revise this statement, or I can rewrite this statement as, suppose if I have A less than B, I can write B greater than A. Right? In the same way, let me rewrite this. So when I do that, I can write summation I is equal to 1 to infinity M star of A intersection Ei less than will become greater than or equal to M star of A intersection E. Clear? just I have rewrite the equation in the sense here it is something like a less than b. I have written like b greater than or equal to a, one and the same. Fine. Now with this equation 4 becomes, in the sense what I have done is I have arrived the expression for m star of a intersection ei. Look at the equation 4. What we have is m star of a intersection ei. So m star of a intersection ei can be written as m star of a intersection e. So by substituting this in equation 4, so equation 4 can be written as, see here, m star of a is greater than or equal to, this term becomes m star of a intersection e. Let me write second term as it is, that is m star of a intersection e complement. Fine. I'm just revising once again. Look at the statement. What is the statement given? We have to prove a collection. Mu is a collection of measurable set. Remember, whenever I'm going to use the symbol mu, it is a collection of measurable set. We have to prove that a collection of measurable set is a sigma algebra. We have already proved that it is a collection of measurable set is algebra. We have already proved that in previous session. So as per that, I can write mu is a sigma algebra. This is what I have proved in the previous session. Now we have to prove that mu is a sigma algebra. So it is enough to prove that it is closed under countable union. In the sense, let me take a countable collection ei such that ei is equal to 1 to infinity be countable collection. Now I have to prove that this this set is also belongs to mu. In the sense, let me take a collection E such that E is equal to n is equal to 1 to infinity en. Why? Because this is from the second theorem, I hope so. That is countable union can be expressed as countable disjoint sets. Now as per that, I can take one of the set in ei. In a finite set, this is countable, this is finite set. So in finite set, I can choose one of the set. So now I have to prove that this set is also measurable. Meaning is I have to prove that E is measurable. In the sense, when we say E is measurable, if there exists a subset of our satisfying measurability condition. So I am proving that since mu is algebra, so if that was the case, this is also belongs to a measurable set. So as per the definition of measurability, I have written this. Now Fn is subset of E. For each n, Fn is contained in E. Why? Because Fn is belongs to collection Ei. So it definitely belongs to one of the element in that collection. So applying complementation and taking it in a intersection with a set A on both side and applying measure on both side. So let me take this as equation 2. I am using equation 2 in equation 1 so as to get this equation 3. Fine. Now let me consider this. So Fn can be written as union of I is equal to 1 to infinity A. Just I have substituted and I have taken measure on both side. Now what I did is I have applied the theorem. It says that when you are going to take measure inside, union can be written as summation. Clear? Now I am going to rewrite the term m star of A intersection Fn of equation 3. So let me substitute this in equation 3. With this, equation 3 becomes this one. Like, let me call this as equation 4. Now we can write m star of A intersection E as, why? Because E I have chosen as union of all the unique collection. Right, that is m star of E is equal to m star of A intersection union n is equal to 1 to infinity ei. Fine. Why? Because Fn is belongs to this element. Further, E can be expressed as finite union. So that is the reason I can write like this. Now what I did is I have applied the property of measurability of a set. So when you're going to take measure inside, equal become less than or equal to and union become summation value. Fine. Now with this, I am replacing the same in equation 4. That is m star of A intersection Ia. The first term will become m star of A intersection E. So I have replaced this in equation 4 with this. Equation 4 become something like this. Now we can note that this is the property of measurability of a set. When do we say a set is measurable? If this condition satisfy, right? Moreover, less than or equal to inequality is obvious. So I can say therefore E is equal to union I is equal to 1 to n, Ei is measurable. Measurable in the sense, what we assumed is mu is a collection of measurable set, right? So if E is measurable, I can clearly say E belongs to mu. Fine. Therefore, mu is closed under, what is E stands for? E is a countable union, right? So that is what we have to prove. Mu is closed under countable union. Therefore, mu is a sigma algebra. Clear? Since it satisfies the definition of measurability where E is satisfying the measurability property. So E I have chosen as union of all ENs, that is countable set. So E is equal to I is equal to 1 to N, EI is measurable. So if it is measurable, it belongs to a measurable set mu. So meaning is countable union is also in the collection of measurable set. Therefore mu is a sigma algebra. Fine. Hope so it is clear. And the next theorem is union of two measurable set is measurable. We have to prove that union of two measurable set is measurable. It is important, asked in 2018 and 2016, important question. Now coming to the proof, we have to prove, suppose if E1 and E2 are two measurable sets, then we have to prove that E1 in union E2 is also measurable. Fine. This is what the statement of the given theorem is. Now let us take E1 and E2 are two measurable sets. Fine. Two measurable sets. Then as per the definition of measurability, there exists a subset in R such that satisfying the measurability definition. What it says? Like for the set E1, M star of A is equal to M star of A intersection E1 plus M star of A intersection E1 complement. Fine. Let me take this as equation 1. Similarly, for E2, there exists, say, set B subset of R such that M star of B is equal to M star of B intersection E2 plus M star of B intersection E2 complement. Clear? Let me take this as equation 2. This is from the definition of measurability of a set. Fine. Now, what I'm going to do is, in particular, or else, let me substitute the value of B as A intersection E1 complement. Replace B with A intersection E1 complement. Then the above equation becomes M star of A intersection E1 complement is equal to M star of, replace B with A intersection E1 complement intersection E2 plus M star of A intersection E1 complement intersection E2 complement. Now let me arrange the terms here. Nothing will change, just I will manipulate the terms such that, let me group the terms, first two terms with the second. Fine. Similarly, last two terms I am going to group. Or else shall I write this as E1 union E2 complement directly? I'll just skip one of the steps. See here, if you split this again, you will get this. E1 union E2 complement will be E1 complement intersection E2 complement. So these two terms can be written as E1 union E2 complement. Let me take this as equation 3. This is by De Morgan's law. Fine. Now let me consider, I have already proved this a number of times. In the previous session I have given one counter example to prove this. I can write for any two sets E1 union E2 can be written as E1 union E2 intersection E1 complement. I don't know the particular theorem, but I have proved this just by giving a counter example, and this inequality is true and you have to remember this inequality. So if you want again, you just take a counter example, find E1 and this value, you will get this inequality satisfied. Now I have proved this, so I am not going to give counter example again. Let me take A intersection on both sides. So if you take A intersection on both sides, we will get E2 intersection E1 complement. Fine. Now I am going to split this in the sense, let me keep LHS as it is. I can write RHS as A intersection with first one, fine, union A intersection with second one. Just I have splitted the A set. Clear? This is what we have. Now let me apply measure on both sides. So when you do that, you are going to get M star of A intersection E1 union E2. Remember, when you are going to apply measure, so as per the property, it will become less than or equal to M star of A intersection E1 plus M star of A intersection E2 intersection E1 complement. Clear? Now I can hope so from up to here it is clear for you. Now I can rewrite this as, see here, just I will replace this, interchange this, nothing will change. See here, I can write this as A intersection, first I will write E1 complement, then I will write E2. one and the same. It doesn't make more difference. Fine. E1 it is. I'm sorry, I have left this. E1 complement intersection E2. So let me write LHS once again. M star of A intersection E1 union E2. Fine. Let me take this as equation 4. Now consider equation 3. Here I have written. So what I'm going to do is, let me add M star of A intersection E1 in equation 3. So with this, equation 3 can be written as M star of A intersection E1 complement plus I'm going to add this M star of A intersection E1 is equal to, let me add first this term, M star of A intersection E1 plus, let us write these two terms as it is, since I am adding the term on both sides. A intersection E1 complement intersection E2 plus M star of A intersection E1 union E2 whole complement. Fine. Now have a look at the LHS value and look at equation 1. See here, M star of A intersection E1, M star of A intersection E1 plus M star of A intersection E1 complement. Fine. So I'm going to write, see here, RHS of equation 1 is same as LHS of this equation. So I can write this entire expression as M star of A. So whatever the terms we have here, the same terms I have here. So I can replace this with M star of A. So let me do that. I'm applying equation 1 here for this. So I'm going to get M star of A is equal to, now look at equation 4. What I have done is, I can write the first two terms, these two terms and these two terms are same. It is given by M star of A intersection E1 union E2. So I can write the entire term as this one. Fine. So M star of A intersection E1 union E2. Fine. Next term I can rewrite as it is. So M star of A intersection E1 union E2 whole complement. Clear? I am just revising once again. See here, this is, we have to prove E1 union E2 is a measurable set. So E1 E2 are measurable, I have assumed as per the definition of measurability property. I have applied the definition. Now let me replace B with A intersection E1 complement. So wherever B is there, I have replaced it with A intersection E1 complement. So I am going to get this equation. Fine. Now what I have done is, I have applied what we said, De Morgan's law for these two terms, so I can get this. It doesn't make any difference, so let me take this as equation 3. Now I have given lot of counter example for this property in the previous video. You can go through that. If you want, you can take counter example, you will get this equation. Fine. So this is what we have. Let me take A intersection on both sides. Now I'm going to split this term of RHS with each and every element, and I have taken measure on both sides. So remember, when I'm going to take measure, since you have union in between, so equals will become less than or equal to and union will become plus. Clear? Now what I have done is, I have just interchanged this term, so it doesn't make any difference. Let me take this as equation 4. Now for equation 3, I'm going to add M star of A intersection E1, so that this LHS part of this equation will be same as RHS part of equation 1. So I can write the entire term as M star of A. Fine. Again, from equation 4, these two terms can be written as M star of A intersection E1 union E2. If you rewrite this will be less than or equal to this term. So when you have less than or equal to, it doesn't matter. You can either you can write or you can write as it is. Why? Because greater than or equal to inequality holds. It is standard expression and it is true for all the expressions of measurability of a set. So I can write either you can write less than or equal to, or I can write equals. Now you can look at this expression. So as per the definition of measurability, I can say E1 union E2 is also measurable. So remember, when a set E is measurable, then there exists A is subset of R. As per the definition of measurability, I can say M star of A is equal to M star of A intersection E plus M star of A intersection E complement. This is what the definition of measurability of a set E is. Similarly, you can note that in place of E, what we have? E1 union E2. So I can say, from the definition of measurability of a set, E1 union E2 is also measurable. And hence the proof. Hope it is clear. Remaining will be, I'll be forward the notes of the same in the group. Remaining will be continued in the next session. Thank you.